Hello and welcome! Today we are playing key battles again, and we are yet again in the Valkyrie. But this time we have unlocked everything, which means that we get to use mortars. And mortars are disgustingly overpowered against players. They're not that great against monsters, but they're amazing against players. So for those who don't know what key battles are, you see at the very top I have this 100 out of 200 and there's a little B at the end. Those are battle points, and this works kinda like an XP bar in an RPG. Once that fills up, I will level up and I will get some kind of an ability that makes my ship stronger for this match. You see on the Thorn Ridge that I'm targeting? You see there's a 200 and that B icon at the end. If I kill that Thorn Ridge, I get 200 battle points. And that will be enough to level me up. Then I get to choose between one of two abilities that are picked at random for the Valkyrie. So one more salvo. This time actually I'm doing pretty well with mortars. So mortars are really slow. Like the shells are incredibly slow. Anyway, I leveled up. I can choose between main battery accuracy or vampirism. Main battery accuracy is effectively just better dispersion. Vampirism though is 50% of the damage I deal, I heal as my ship's HP. And in this mode, vampirism is probably the best ability you can take on the Valkyrie. Because, you know, you constantly keep healing, and that effectively means that you can fight for way longer. And particularly when you don't have mortars, when you have stuff like HE shells, there are monsters that spawn, and if you hit those monsters for like 70k damage, suddenly you heal up to almost full HP immediately again. But the reason I don't really like the mortars is these 30k salvos work. Like if you aim properly, it can happen. But quite often I struggle with monsters, especially the lobsterite one that you'll see later. So I start out, my strategy is to move fast and try to kill as many monsters as I can quickly. Here, I leveled up again. I'm gonna pick damage reduction, I think. Yeah, damage reduction, because damage reduction means I just take less damage. And this actually combines with the ramming hull problem, or ramming hull point, which means that I take even less damage while I ram. Also, when you combine it with vampirism, I can ram someone and I actually get HP back. Well, I still lose some, but I also get HP back for the damage I dealt. But anyway, my strategy is to move fast. As you noticed, I started out with speed boosting straight towards the monsters to be able to take them out as quickly as I can. Then I went into the white circle, which means that a few Thorn Ridges and sometimes Fang Blades spawn, and then you get some battle points. And next up, I'm gonna boost as quickly as I can into the red circle, because that's where the lobsterites spawn. Now, I might get so there are 6 of these red circles. Each of them will contain 1 lobsterite. 4 of those will contain a lobsterite that gives 500 battle points and a key, thus the key battle's name. And 2 of them will contain a lobsterite with no key, but 1500 battle points. So they effectively level you up more, but they don't give you a key. So key is necessary because there's a portal in the middle. You can see straight ahead. It opens in 10 minutes and 30 seconds in the top right corner. And if you have a key and the timer runs out, you can run into the portal and it exits the game for you. And then you can just go play the next game. And you get an additional, I believe, 5000 battle points. But those who don't get a key, because look, there are 16 players but only 4 keys, the rest of them will have to effectively do a last man standing fight. And the winner gets the 5000 battle points and everyone else is treated as though they lost, which means that they only get the battle points that they just grinded for. So this kind of a fight here is exactly where the mortars struggle for the Valkyrie. I have 2 Thorn, well, I have 1 Thorn Ridge here, another one's gonna spawn soon, and I have a lobsterite. And the yellow shielding means that the lobsterite, I think, takes 75% less damage. But even if I do actually fire, oh wow, that was a very lucky shot on the Thorn Ridge there for 51k damage. But even if I get a lucky salvo on the lobsterite, I will take several salvos, and I have like a 20-second reload. So it's very difficult to end up killing these monsters quickly. Like if you were a Gale would just run up to this, dump their torps, and the lobsterite would already be gone, and then they would just move on to fight other monsters. But here, with the mortars, you have to take a while. Even with HE on the Valkyrie, you could have probably just taken out the lobsterite there immediately. Also, I'm pretty sure this is a bug right now. The lobsterite is supposed to be underwater, right? but because the Thorn Ridge was in front of it, I guess it couldn't, like, sink or, you know, dive. Oh, Internet Rage is inviting me to a division. You know what? I'm gonna accept this division invitation. We're gonna be a group and play together. Oh, look, there's a Gale, Socrates 2 over there. That's another player. And he's actually engaging us. Oh, and he actually stole the kill for the Lobster. Okay. No. Here you'll see how overpowered mortars are. Hi. Bye. 27,000 damage, just like that. I don't have any kind of damage increases for my guns, because he was really close to mortars, and mortars just deal a huge amount of damage, especially to Gales, because they don't have quite the same HP pool. Anyway, now Internet Rage, I'm gonna give the key to Internet Rage. This is, by the way, a key that just dropped. He's gonna take the key so that once the timer ends he can leave immediately, because I don't really worry about it. I know mortars are so overpowered that even if I end up in the final fight, in the free-for-all, I think there's a very good chance I'm gonna survive, especially since I have Vampirism and 2 damage reduction upgrades already. So I take significantly less damage, and every time I deal damage I heal up again. That should give me a massive advantage. Anyway, now that we've mostly stopped fighting the monsters, I think it's time to try to look for some players that have battle points. Like that Gale over there. Although he only has 750 battle points, by the way, we can still benefit from it. However, do note that when you're in a division with 2 people, the battle points of the monsters you kill are shared. So, if the enemy had 750 and we killed them, each of us would get 375. If there were 3 of us, each would get 7 or 250. Oh, another Gale. Completely unaware that I have mortars. Goodbye, Gale. Oh, only 12,000 this time. I say that only because that was half the HP he had. And Gale doesn't have an amazing speed boost like Valkyrie does. She doesn't have a way to just get away from here, which means that this Gale is pretty much screwed. There are torpedoes, but they won't deal enough damage to kill me. I think that's goodbye, Gale. Oh no! He actually survived at 500 HP, but I do have secondaries, and my main guns will eventually reload as well. And at that point it's already over. And if nothing else, I even have a speed boost to be able to catch up with them if necessary. But I don't think it is. And then there's his division mate, the other Gale over there, which we could easily take care of that as well. So this time I took the Rapid Consumables upgrade. Effectively this means that my consumables, so my speed boost, heal and damage control party, reload faster. Oh, he's inviting me to a division, but no. Sorry, but right now we want battle points, and you seem to have 950 of them, so gimme. My Gale kind of missed the torpedoes, but it's understandable due to the island over here. I'm gonna use speed boost to catch up to the Gale, even if I take torpedoes. Again, I have a heal right now, and he can effectively throw every single torpedo he has at me, and it still won't be enough. Just because I have a heal and I had the 2 damage reduction upgrades, so I take 30% less damage. Oof, 20k just with the rear turrets. So if my front turrets had fired there as well, that could have easily been 40,000 damage. That's almost the entire HP pool of this Gale. Sorry man, goodbye. Feels like bullying, to be honest. Oh, more torpedoes, that's okay. Flooding is gonna be slightly annoying because it slows me down, but it shouldn't matter too much, because I don't take that much damage here. I guess I will take this key then, because we all, there's 2 of us and there's a key on the ground, so might as well take it. Because you know what happens when you have a key? Enemies are more likely to come fight you, so we get even more battle points to level up even more. We're already level 5, so we need 950 points to get to level 6, and once that happens, we can get another ability. Maximum level is level 7. Portal opens in 4 minutes, so there's still plenty of time. I hope Internet Rage leaves the moment the portal opens, though, because there's really no reason for a Gale to stick around to fight. Particularly when there are things like mortars on Valkyries around. You know, it gets kind of crazy when you have these massive salvos, but I haven't run into too many people with mortars. And even when you do, you can still somewhat dodge them, but I would certainly say that against players, these are insanely OP. The downside, of course, is that you can't fight monsters quite as well. But I think that's kind of a small price to pay, considering most of it is with... most of the fighting is against players. Also, by the way, that guy has 5,000 battle points. That is the maximum you can get. If we could sink that guy, we would level up. Actually, yeah, I should max out if we sink that guy. He also has the blue hull, which means that he does not have the ramming hull. So there's a good chance I could ram him to be able to get a kill, but I have to look more closely on his... So effectively, in the middle, there's like little type of structures that determine what kind of upgrades he uses. So I'm a bit worried about ramming someone, because they might have the invulnerability upgrade, or ability. So there's an ability on one other option you can take on the Valkyrie that makes you invulnerable to damage for 15 seconds. And obviously invulnerable to damage beats taking less damage from ramming, especially considering ramming deals insane amounts of damage. So I do need to slightly worry about that, but if he doesn't have the invulnerability, well, he can't do much. And he also doesn't have speed if he has the invulnerability. Considering he definitely has the invulnerability. This means that for 15 seconds there's no point in actually shooting him because I can't deal any damage. I don't think there's friendly fire in this mode, so these torpedoes shouldn't matter. Yep, they don't do anything. But this invulnerability is gonna go away at some point, right? So then we can just shell him again. Now this invulnerability is actually a party ability. That is, any ally around them in 5 kilometer radius also gets the same invulnerability, but I think his teammate ditched him. Sorry. In that case, give me the battle points. I mean, he is gonna still gain 5k from this, but he doesn't gain the extra 5k from, well, surviving the battle with either a key or something along those lines. And that's maximum level right there. Oh, another damage reduction. Oh yes, a triple one. So now we take 40. Oh, and a fourth one. Oh my god. Usually I would take main battle reload, but a fourth one? I take 50% less damage. This means that when I shot him for 20k, for example, I would have only taken 10,000 damage. And keep in mind that whenever I deal damage, I regain some of that HP, right? Oh my god, this is amazing. This is really, really, really good. This means that even if I get into the final octagon fight at the end and don't exit with the key, I should still easily be able to win. In fact, forget that. I should be able to ram people and get some of my HP back from vampirism just because I take so much less damage. So there are 2 Gales over there with keys. So those are the only 2 other keys on the map. But they're Gales, so we might as well shell. Now here's the end part, and there will be lobsteroids spawning around the portal. And anyone that has actually HE, I'm not talking these mortar shells, but regular HE, can actually heal up a lot with vampirism when shooting lobsteroid. Because you can hit them for like 70-80k with HE, and then that means that when you get 15% back, you just heal 12,000 HP for one salvo. Whereas I only deal, well, 20k in this case. So when I healed 15% here, I only healed for like less than 3,000 HP. It's a significant difference, but I still think mortars are insanely overpowered. I do think they should probably... They need to be nerfed a little bit, I think. At least with the way things are. Or maybe Gale just needs a buff of some kind. Because Gale obviously can't take mortars. So I use regular secondaries, mostly because they deal with the monsters better than mortar secondaries. Because mortars, well, aren't that effective against monsters, as we can see. Yeah, 20k damage again. Okay, the portal is open, Internet Rage is leaving, excellent. As long as he gets out, then things are great. And I guess we can just fight the rest of the people here. Because there's only 4 ships left, right? So we might as well go to the Octagon to show what the Octagon is like as well. It's only 2 minutes to go, even if I don't leave. And I guess we can just fight ships until then. Oh, there's only 2 ships left, so it's just... So effectively there's just me and the Gale right here. And we are the final 2 players. I guess what he wants is for me to leave, then he gets the Octagon win immediately. But I really want to fight him, so... I'm sorry, Gale. I'm really sorry. I just really want to actually fight. Oh, I actually missed the salvo, but I still did 2100 damage. Sure, it's not amazing, but I completely missed that salvo. And it still did massive splash damage. Anyway, we can just wait for a minute, because if he wants to leave without fighting in the Octagon, he actually has to come over to me and sink me, right? Which means that I don't have to be the one to get closer to him. So I can just wait until we hit the Octagon in 50 seconds, and then we can just fight. Like, at that point he is forced to fight me. Kinda feel bad. It feels like I'm being a bit malicious towards them. But I just really want to fight. I'm max level. This is literally why I wanted to hit max level, so that I can fight enemies. I have 4 damage reduction ones. I wanna ram someone, but I can't ram someone if they're running away. Well, it's possible, but it's unlikely. 15 seconds to go until Octagon. Yep, we will go to Octagon. I could have just left because I had the key through the portal, but no, we're gonna fight in the Octagon. Prepare for the transit to the Octagon. So anybody that hasn't left yet, whether they have or don't have a key, is now transported into the Octagon, and it has it's an arena that gets smaller over time. Okay, so there's the Gale. It's just me and him, and last man standing wins. I'm gonna fire my guns, and then I'm gonna go straight towards him. I'm gonna try to get close, and if I get really close, I'm gonna speed boost to try to ram him. I want to see the amount of damage I take. I'm probably gonna eat a face full of torpedoes, but it should be okay. I hope at least. But yeah, as you can see, if I just used mortars and stayed at range, this would be an easy win. They're just that insanely powerful. Speed, let's go! Set course for ramming! You ain't going nowhere. Oh my, that was amazing. Actually, you know what? Let's look at it again, because that was amazing. By the way, pay attention to the HP I have when I ram him. Oh man, this really doesn't get old. By the way, did you notice? I actually gained HP at the start when I started ramming. I went from 56k to 57k HP, but then I dropped down to 54k HP. Effectively, I paid like 2,000 to 3,000 HP to actually ram a 35k HP ship down. This is why I really like having the ramming hull with the damage reduction. It's so much fun when it happens in situations like that. Oh! At the time I had 276k battle points, now I'm at around 400k, but these are what I use. So it's the default hull, the ramming hull, because again, ramming is nice. Then I use the default abilities, mostly because of the speed boost. The other two don't have any speed upgrades. Then I use the default HE secondaries, just because I think they're better against monsters and I don't think we need them against players. But then we use the mortars because mortars are overpowered as hell. And so mortars just devastate enemies that we can't either ram to death or run away from. But yeah, I really like this game mode, and I've quite enjoyed playing it. Particularly the speed and the ramming part. I do think mortars need a little bit of tuning down, but overall, I've had a decent amount of fun, even in Gale. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.